welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, India's largest entrepreneurial platform. We bring you expert advice on how to make and manage your money right, how to hire right, innovation strategy, anything and everything, in fact, that matters to the life of an entrepreneur, covered right here on the show. I want to quickly welcome in both our special guests tonight, young entrepreneurs leading their businesses into the next wave of technology, into the next wave of growth and innovation. Aditya Agarwal of Emami Group. We also have Devita Saraf. Aditya, Devita, thank you very much for joining us here on the show today. I want to start by talking about the overarching theme that we have here on the Leaders of Tomorrow, which is empowering a billion dreams, and really get your thoughts on, what message you would perhaps have for entrepreneurs watching tonight's interview, and, kick things off from there.
Thank you, Sunanda. Hi, Devita. Actually, what we have always been taught and been given to believe is that a role of a leader is to bring out the instincts, the leadership instincts in people, and not only to lead people. So as a leader, it will always be our role to make other people leaders. And and we at Imami, we have always believed that one cannot be happy if the people around are not happy, if the surrounding is not happy. So growth and development, it limits itself if and it's not sustainable if the growth and development is not inclusive. So as a good leader, it is always important to make sure that people around you are growing, and I think that's the best empowerment.
Well, I do agree that it's very important, as Aditya said, to make sure that in times like this, you're thinking as a team, you're thinking of your employees, your customers, and your own leadership role in it. I do find that, there are things which are very difficult for everyone, but there's a varying degree of challenges for some industries versus another. And for an industry like mine, of course, it's a challenging year. It's not a tragic year, thankfully. So I tell my team, I said, we have to sort of be optimists and find opportunities in growing our business. We shouldn't complain and actually consider ourselves very fortunate for the environment that we're in, that people are buying our product. Most importantly, people think of a problem and then they feel very bogged down. But entrepreneurs realize that people pay for solutions to problems. So if you move away from complaining about problems, you'll see business opportunities in it. You'll find probably product customer opportunities in it. And as Aditya rightly said, that that kind of thinking has to be there in you and your entire team. So for us in this year, I think the first thing that we've had to teach our team is consider yourselves very grateful
Sure.
for the job that we have, the business that we have. Secondly, whatever problems and situations are there, make sure that you find opportunities out of it and actually grow the business from it.
Okay, the word opportunity was just used, so I want to pick up on that and really talk about, pick up as far as demand is concerned for both of your sectors. Devita, maybe I can come to you first. Have you started seeing recovery? Are you confident that 2021, 2022 are going to be much better years?
Honestly, for us, since the lockdown, the demand has actually gone up very high because people are at home, and television is probably not only their only form of entertainment, it's probably their only form of being connected to the world. So, a lot of spending which would happen in other lifestyle areas like travel, hospitality, movies, multiplexes, in other areas, you can maybe shopping. People have the money, but then they're stuck at home, so they're spending it on internal lifestyle. They're spending it on durables, they're spending it on appliances, they're spending on improving their living standards. And so the demand has been very high for us from the beginning. Having said that, of course, it is a very difficult year in terms of the supply chain. And also the fact that now, because of the government directive, all the product has to be assembled in India. Having said that, we have been able to actually do multiple launches during this time and keep business as on. The interesting part that we find is our large size television business, the high end 4K television business, has actually grown 100% year on year. So I would say that it's definitely been a watershed year for all of us in the electronic space because people are looking at spending in their digital lifestyles. And that includes everything from televisions to probably laptops or even software usage, etc. And thankfully, with all this adoption that has happened of technology during the lockdown, has created newer opportunities for tech companies across the board.
As we all would agree that recently the times which we have experienced, it was never imagined. And I would not say if it was good or bad, because of course don't feel you feel bad when people suffer. But these times have also taught us so many things, and it has also taught us that everything is possible. You just need to believe in it. You just need to want to do it. And as far as Imami is concerned, how I would say how these things and what we have learned from this time and is that we are a diversified group, so we have seen a lack of demand or almost no sales in paper, especially since we are into newsprint. Newspaper reading has almost been it was zero. Then it has gone up, but still not to that level. So the paper industry was in a bad shape, but now it has come back to around 70-80%. Cement did well after the 2 months of lockdown, but before that things were very bad. When it comes to healthcare, whether it is our hospitals or the healthcare products for daily consumption. Hospitals in the first 2 months were almost empty because people were not coming for either it is OPD or diagnostics, and the only people who were coming in were for COVID, which the numbers were very less in the beginning, but later on, as the things opened up, as the city opened up, we could see good numbers coming in. We during this time we launched a range of products which normally takes in any in our industry it takes around a year and a half to 3 years to launch a new product or a new brand basically, whereas in this 6 months we have been able to launch more than 30 products. So that showed how the team can or how things can change if the environment is not the same.
Okay.
And we launched an immunity booster edible oil with vitamin C. We launched a home care range. We launched around 25 healthcare products, whether it is Giloy, whether it is neem based thing or haldi based things. It clearly shows that things can be done if you want to do. And as far as the demands are concerned, most of the industries I think are back into action. As Devita said, that the problem during those times, like our edible oil unit was on since the very beginning because it is under the Essential Commodities Act. So the main problem was supply chain, how to get the packaging material, how to make sure that the labors reach the factory, how to make sure that the trucks leave and reach the destination. So these are the major challenges, but we all overcame it very well, and I think smart thinking also helped us there. For example, when the city was going under lockdown, we identified people who would need printers in their home. So we provided printers at their home. We provided them not only with printers but also with paper and extra cartridges of ink. So the detailing has had to be done to that level
Sure.
to make sure
Sure.
there is continuity.
Okay, I'm going to take a quick break on that note. Much more when we come back, though. Just stay tuned. Welcome back. You're with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow. And tonight we're talking about the role of innovation, growth, etc. with two of India's most well-known entrepreneurs. Devita, how does a large company like yours ensure that it stays agile and responding quickly to what it's seeing in the environment?
As a company, when I started this company nearly 15 years ago, it actually started by first building an innovation lab, which was modeled on the human factors approach of MIT Media Lab, which is the world's foremost lab of human-based technology. And what we do is essentially we have a team that is constantly making products for consumer lifestyles. And we got inspired, of course, with the lockdown to work on consumer work styles. So we were able to understand because we have a very strong CRM system, we're able to take data from over 2.5 million customers that we have as to what are the changes in their lifestyle during this time, what features they want in their products, that we were able to take it back to the lab, work on it, prototype it, and then have it put into manufacturing. The second thing that we realized that the entire digital lifestyle has also now become a digital work style. So, people don't want to travel unnecessarily, and this is a habit that we think will last post COVID,
Okay.
where people want to cut down unnecessary travel and probably do a Zoom call or a Zoom meeting like this, or even a Zoom interview, and we're both in different cities, and do things digitally. So for this, we came up with, for this hybrid environment, we came up with our own product that we launched called Meeting by View. Again, we did the innovation with a sharp team, constantly working on getting consumer data, working on prototyping, and having the go-to-market happen again digitally. So to be honest, for innovation, people always think that innovation is going to be a very clunky long-term effort. But even as Aditya mentioned, that they were able to bump up the innovation cycle at this time. I think understanding R&D, where product cycles are essentially minimum 18 months,
Sure.
to NPD, which is new product development, you have to have products in the innovation pipeline that are almost ready to go all the time and can be tweaked for consumer changes.
So, if I can ask you the same question, Aditya, a lot of large businesses are responding to criticism that there isn't enough innovation. Say there's not much of an ROI as far as R&D is concerned, and with shareholder questions, etc. R&D perhaps is something that gets put onto the back burner. How does a company like yours innovate? What's your thinking? What's your approach towards innovation?
Take it into two parts basically. First, I would agree with Devita and 100% endorse her when she says when she talked about the pipeline thing. The pipeline is very important, and when we say that we launched 30 products, it would not have been possible if the pipeline was not ready. Maybe one or two products could have been developed, but still you have to develop the go through the shelf life cycle, etc., to make sure that your products are safe and good for your consumers. So the pipeline plays an important role, and pipeline can only be ready if you have a strong mindset of research and development, if you have a strong mindset of giving to your consumers something new every time. The other part, what I would like to say is that my personal belief is that in innovation as a word is very loosely used by most of us. uh, Actually, innovation I would like to understand is doing something new, say like this vaccine which has been developed. Normally a vaccine takes a decade, but it has been developed in 6 months or 9 months now. This is innovation. But what we do, mostly all of us in India, what we do is upgrading basically. We don't redefine the things, we just make it a little better for the consumers. Uh, I hope I'm not taken wrong when I'm saying this, but I am talking generally. There could be outliers, and there always are outliers. Say, for example, when we launched a fairness cream for men, Fair and Handsome, a fairness cream was already there. I would not say fairness was an innovation. The fairness cream for men was just a upgradation or maybe a consumer insight which helped us launch that. And we also believe, and I think it is true to a large extent, that large companies, however big they are, they normally don't go for innovations. They are too risk averse. It is the small companies which take the risk, they launch new products, new ideas, and then the new companies ride on it with their money, the power of money they have, or they take over the small companies. Uh, but at the same time, the large companies, they they do a few things which could seem new, or they market it in a new way.
Okay, I do know that innovation, Aditya, is something that's close to your heart. How are you innovating at Imami? What can you tell us?
Like in any other company, we have a consumer insight team. We regularly ourselves also presently also we go to the market to talk to the retailers, to meet consumers. We do focus groups. We try to find out from them their need gap. We try to find out the problems which they are facing in the in the present products, and then the research team they work on it through this insights. And then the research, we have a like a wonderful research and development lab, you may call it, or we call it a experience center, where we call consumers and we do various researches with them. Through their eyes we can read, or we can collect data ki which part of a product are they liking, or which part of the packaging they are liking. So you need to be a step ahead and get things from which are not happening in India largely, to do new things, and then only the results will be different.
Devita, very often when we talk to entrepreneurs, they say, the difficulty in raising funds is perhaps the number one challenge, more so if you're a woman entrepreneur. So, for a woman entrepreneur watching today's interview, what would you like to tell them about what they should keep in mind when it comes to fundraising? Have your peers perhaps told you some of the challenges they've faced? Anything that you can share with us?
Okay, so first of all, I would say that 2020 has been a fantastic year for women entrepreneurs because I've seen suddenly a resurgence of, micro entrepreneurs across the country. A lot of women have started small and medium businesses in multiple areas that you can see, especially digital, giving them great distribution and reach. And really probably giving a tough fight to larger companies when it comes to probably, I would say, even making sustainable products or making products which are more attuned to consumer needs in India. So there is a huge opportunity for a lot of these micro entrepreneurs to become large companies.
Okay.
When it comes to raising money, whether it's a challenge for a woman, I would say along with money, it's also a question of time. As you already know, I have not raised any money from the outside. Mine is a debt-free business, profitable, and I own 100% of it. More than anything, I put in 15 years into building this. So the only thing I would tell for women that there may be challenges in raising money. I'm not the right person to speak about it, but please don't do something from a short-term perspective. You have to put in at least a decade, unless whatever business you have started is really a formidable competitor to biggies in the industry.
Yeah, the Indian environment sometimes they don't is not very conducive for women businesses. But I'm sure, as Devita said, that this year because of the digital thing, people are doing from home, and most of it may not require a lot of fund, I would say, at this stage.
Okay, so to the two of you then, now, what skill sets do you think are going to become extremely crucial in the new normal? What would you like for entrepreneurs to keep in mind?
My belief is that skills, the need of a skill keeps on changing, and skills can always be learned and they can be sharpened upon. More than skills, the requirement should be of values, which are more important and which don't change. So the mindset of the person, whether doing a business now or wanting to start a business now, I would like to say that they must firstly understand that revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, and cash is the king. Don't work for turnover, and don't be happy if you're earning profit. You should only be happy if your cash flow is good. And one more thing I would like to say here is, especially for a new business, somebody who's starting a new business, think like a gardener and act like a carpenter. See, a gardener, he very patiently he nurtures the plant, he sows the seed, and he nurtures the plant and waits for the fruits to come. And at the same time, the carpenter, when he's making, say, for example, a chair, he every day he makes a part of one part of the chair and keeps it ready. He's not seeing the result, but at one fine day, after maybe 15 days or 30 days, the parts take a form of a chair, and then the result is seen. So one should not get worried or disheartened by not seeing results. Results will come if we are very, I would say, persistent of our activities, and we continue to believe in what we are doing.
I think the one thing that I would say is a mindset and has been of a value for us. The first thing I would say is whatever is, at least for a generation going forward, is create, don't compete. Today we need to really think like artists and not sports people because the world requires us to rethink the way we do business. We have to make products which are consumer centric. We have to do businesses which are, as you said, profitable with good cash flow. Uh, we have to do products which are good for the earth, so very sustainable. And we shouldn't be in this constant, like, just manage this whole concept of gaining market share and, fighting for, piece of the pie, because it's a very destructive way of thinking of business. And the way we've reached on the planet today is because some of us have always been driven by probably a non-altruistic mindset in business. But the Indian traditional family business system has always been more industrial and has always been keeping and creating for consumers and for the country. And I think it's time. I know we've all had challenges with foreign competitors coming in. That's fine, let them do what they have to. But at the end of the day, they are not our countrymen. And we have to constantly create and innovate rather than compete in as business entrepreneurs and have our team have the same mindset.
Aditya, Devita, thanks so much for your time here on the show.
Thank you,
Thank
Sunanda.
you. Bye bye.
Completely out of time in tonight's episode. If you have any feedback for us, our contact details up on your screens as we speak. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.